From Hattiesburg beauty queen to Broadway darling, Dorothy Dell's meteoric rise to fame was a dazzling testament to her talent and charisma. Her journey, though tragically short, was a whirlwind of triumphs. From winning the Most Beautiful Baby title, to captivating audiences as Miss Universe, and gracing the stage in the Ziegfeld Follies. Hollywood beckoned and Dorothy's star ascended even further, promising a brilliant future. But fate intervened, casting a long shadow over her burgeoning career. Though her life was cut tragically short, Dorothy Dell's legacy continues to shimmer, a reminder of the incandescent light that briefly illuminated the world of entertainment. In this episode of Celebrity Afterlife, we remember the life of Dorothy Dell and help to keep her memory alive. In the heart of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, a future star was born. To entertainers Albert and Lillian Goff, January 30th, 1915. From the tender age of 13 months, Dorothy Dell Goff's radiance captivated all, earning her the title of Most Beautiful Baby in the Hattiesburg Beauty Contest. Her family's move to New Orleans at 13 marked a new chapter, intertwining her destiny with the city's vibrant social scene. Descending from a lineage of distinction, Dorothy's ancestry boasted ties to U.S. Senator Guy Shepherd Goff of West Virginia, Judge John W. Goff of the Supreme Court of New York, and even a reported connection to Jefferson Davis through her mother's side. Her father, lumberman Albert E. Goff, proudly traced his roots back to the Mayflower, adding a touch of seafaring heritage to her captivating story. With dreams of serenading audiences, young Dorothy Dell Goff's vocal talents caught the ear of composer Wesley Lord, leading to a promising radio contract. But fate had other plans. Her foray into the world of beauty pageants proved dazzlingly successful, culminating in her triumph as Miss New Orleans in 1930 at the tender age of 17. Outshining 74 other hopefuls, including a then-unknown Dorothy Lamour, who would claim the crown the following year, forging a lifelong friendship between the two. Dorothy's star was on the rise. Her reign continued that same year at the International Pageant of Pulchritude in Galveston, Texas, where she was crowned Miss Universe, a title distinct from the later Miss Universe pageant established in 1952. Her Miss Universe crown gleaming, Dorothy Dell embarked on a dazzling vaudeville career. Though more lucrative opportunities beckoned, she chose the stage, driven by a promise made to her dear friend, Dorothy Lamour, just before her pageant victory. Believing in her friend's star potential, Dorothy Dell used her newfound fame to lift Lamour along with her, a testament to her loyalty and the power of their bond. 32 weeks on the vaudeville circuit honed her talent, and in 1931, Dorothy Dell arrived in the dazzling metropolis of New York City. Fate intervened one fateful evening at a benefit performance, where her voice captivated the legendary Florenz Ziegfeld himself. A Broadway debut in the Ziegfeld Follies quickly followed, cementing her status as a rising star. This triumph paved the way for another dazzling role, in the 1933 production of Tattletale, solidifying her presence on the Great White Way. Amidst the bright lights of Broadway, Dorothy Dell's star shone even brighter thanks to her close association with the captivating crooner, Russ Columbo. The swirling rumors of an impending marriage, constantly denied by the rising star, only fueled the media frenzy and elevated her celebrity status. Their connection had sparked at her Ziegfeld audition, a chance encounter that blossomed into something more. However, their romance faced a formidable challenge against Columbo's manager, Conrad. Determined to sever their ties, Conrad orchestrated a series of publicity-only romances between Columbo and other, more established actresses. attempting to extinguish the flame between Dorothy and the celebrated singer. In December 1933, Dorothy Dell traded the dazzling lights of Broadway for the allure of Hollywood, securing a contract with Paramount Pictures. Though initially cast in smaller roles, her star power quickly became undeniable. Against formidable competition, including established actresses like Mae Clarke and Isabel Jewell, she landed her first major film role in Wharf Angel, 1934. The film proved a hit, but it was Dorothy Dell's performance that truly captivated audiences and critics alike. The press resounded with praise, singling her out as a luminous new talent destined for greatness. As in Picture Play magazine's review, "As soon as you see Dorothy Dell in her first picture, you will like her. Shortly afterward you will admire her, and before the end you will be enthusiastic. She has the beauty of the Follies girl she used to be, the ability of a real actress, and a voice that is not only haunting, but it is used with the skill of a trained speaker." In short, Miss Dell rings the bell and doors fly open to welcome her to the small company of worthwhile discoveries. Paramount recognized the spark in Dorothy Dell and began grooming her for stardom. Her most significant role to date followed, playing opposite the incomparable Shirley Temple in Little Miss Marker. This, her second feature for Paramount, solidified her position in Hollywood's constellation of rising stars. Her image graced the covers of fan magazines, and industry trades buzzed with her name, signaling her arrival as a force to be reckoned with. Sharing the screen with the luminous Shirley Temple, on loan out to Fox as Little Miss Marker, and the esteemed Adolphe Menjou, Dorothy Dell's star ascended yet again. This picture showcased not only her vocal talents, but also her dramatic range. Her character, reminiscent of Mae West in both appearance and attitude, exuded a sophistication that belied her mere 20 years. While the spotlight rightly shone on Temple's brilliance, both Menjou and Dell garnered well-deserved praise, with critics hailing their performances as outstanding, solidifying Dorothy's place among Hollywood's elite at only 20 years old. Tragedy struck just as Dorothy Dell's next film, Shoot the Works, starring Jack Oakie, was poised for release. A somber note permeated the film's advertising. In many trade publications, her name was conspicuously absent from the cast lists, a poignant reflection of the industry's reluctance to promote a player who had passed. Even Photoplay's review, while acknowledging her and co-star Lou Cote's excellent performances, carried a heavy heart, noting their presence on screen while both were now in the land beyond. Even in her youth, Dorothy Dell seemed to brush against the veil of the other side. One chilling childhood encounter saw her face to face with death when a ferocious dog attacked her. Only the swift action of her father, who tragically ended the animal's life, saved young Dorothy from a similar fate. In 1931, while performing with the Follies, she received an invitation to a party aboard Harry Richman's yacht. A twist of fate led her to decline, a decision that proved life-saving, as the young woman who accepted in her place perished in a devastating explosion on board. As if tempting fate further, she then took sick with influenza, and subsequently broke her leg during a Follies performance, a series of near misses that painted a portrait of a life lived on the edge. A chilling premonition hung in the air just one day before Dorothy Dell's untimely passing. According to news reports, she mused, they say deaths go in cycles of 3. First it was Lillian Tashman, then Lou Cote. I wonder who'll be next. Her words, now tragically prophetic, echo with a haunting resonance. On a seemingly ordinary Friday, June 8, 1934, Dorothy Dell, amidst the pressures of filming Shoot the Works, agreed to a drive to Pasadena with 38-year-old Dr. Carl Wagner. He painted a picture of relaxation, a respite between retakes, and the chance to meet his mother, eager to show how sweet a little movie star can be. Little did she know, this innocent excursion would lead to tragedy. Following their visit, they joined an all-night revelry at the Marcel Inn in Altadena, California. As they journeyed back to Pasadena, tragedy struck. Their car, speeding between 50 and 70 miles per hour, careened off the highway, colliding with a telephone pole, ricocheted off a palm tree, and finally slammed into a boulder. The devastating impact claimed Dorothy Dell's life instantly. Dr. Wagner, behind the wheel, succumbed to his injuries 6 hours later in a hospital, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. A chilling detail emerged in the wake of Dorothy Dell's tragic death. Newspaper reports revealed that her own mother had recently been under the care of Dr. Carl Wagner, the very man behind the wheel of the car that sealed her fate. The connection added a layer of haunting complexity to the already devastating event. The fatal collision occurred at the intersection of Lincoln Avenue and Forest Street in Pasadena, a stark contrast to the glitz and glamour of her Beverly Hills residence at 710 North Orlando Street. The juxtaposition of celebration and tragedy, of Hollywood glamour and sudden death, paints a poignant picture of a life cut short. Whispers of an engagement to Dr. Wagner circulated after her death, but these rumors were swiftly dismissed by those closest to Dorothy Dell. They believed her heart belonged to caricaturist Nat Carson, whom she had met during her early days as a chorus girl in Earl Carroll's Vanities. Just a week before tragedy struck, a transatlantic phone call carried whispers of love and a promise of forever. Nat Carson, then in London for work, proposed to Dorothy Dell, who dreamed of a 6-month honeymoon escape. News of her untimely death reached Carson across the ocean, shattering his plans and prompting him to abandon his Broadway ambitions, choosing instead to remain in London, a world away from the heartbreak he now carried. On a somber June 10, 1934, 150 invited guests gathered to bid farewell to Dorothy Dell. Among them was Ruth Etting, her Ziegfeld Follies colleague, whose voice filled the air with the mournful beauty of the rosary. Outside the mortuary, a sea of over 1,000 mourners stood in silent tribute, a testament to the young star's impact. Dorothy's parents then escorted her casket home to New Orleans, where she was laid to rest in Metairie Cemetery, leaving behind her younger sister, Helen, and a legacy that would forever shimmer in the annals of Hollywood's golden age. The film Now and Forever, in which Dorothy Dell was originally cast, found a new star in Carole Lombard, a role that would prove to be one of Lombard's first significant triumphs. The heartbreaking news of Dorothy's passing was carefully shielded from her close friend, Shirley Temple, until the cameras rolled on a pivotal scene. As Temple's character discovered her father's deception regarding a stolen necklace, the young actress's tears were not merely acting. They were a genuine outpouring of grief for the loss of her beloved friend. A chilling example of Hollywood's dark side. Shirley Temple recounted the experience in her autobiography, Child Star. The manipulation, entirely unnecessary, deeply affected Temple, who recalled crying uncontrollably until she was comforted by the compassionate Carole Lombard. The incident stands as a stark reminder of the pressures and exploitative practices that could mar even the brightest stars' experiences. Even 2 years after her tragic departure, Dorothy Dell's star continued to shine brightly in the hearts of her fans. Letters of love and admiration still arrived at the Hollywood post office, a poignant testament to the enduring impact of her brief but luminous career. Thanks so much for tuning into today's video. I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell to catch every episode where we dive into the celebrity afterlife.